It's crash and burn. When it's out there, let's see how long it takes for this thing to crash. Girl. Hey, Warlord. What's going on? Doing some chicken quarters and fajita tonight. Just letting the heat up. We were sitting on the fire. Further. I'm hoping to be doing fajitas and chicken tonight if this fucking fiddle heat up. Had a long big ass rainstorm last night. I don't know if shit got wet. Or during the day, my last night. Alright, it's heating up. Alright, rising. Mm. Chicken's on. Who the fuck is messaging me? I want to talk to you. God damn it. I want to talk to you on it. I know I'm not going to get many views because I know I'm going up against not Slim One and Bartaboss for the Juggalo crowd. And I got no fucking clue who's live the rest of the world because I don't follow everybody. Mm-hmm. One second. I ain't talking to this motherfucker in a minute. This is can't get the percent hot enough to cook this fucking chicken. I'm gonna have to do it in the oven. Means I'm saving the fajitas for later. Another day. I think I'll do fajitas and tamales that day. Link's out there if anyone wants to hop on. Y'all know this shit gets boring whenever nobody's on. What up, Sheriff? Link's up there. You want to jump? Jump up, man. Okay. Oh, too dark. Oh, fuck.
What up?
Much, man.
Been a hot minute.
Just barbecuing like normal.
Mm. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. Be glad you got out to the community.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stupid shit going on.
I got out of it because it was deteriorating my mental health.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right now, you'd be in a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm. I'm content with just staying with the whole cannabis community YouTube stuff.
Yeah. No, it's not. I said fuck it. I started the fuck it community. I just hop on here. Fuck it. I'll do what the fuck I want.
Yeah. Man, looking at this camera view, like, God, I've gotten fat.
I got my dog back.
You got your dog back?
Yes.
Nice.
When the ex roommate moved out, she took her to her mom's house. I went to go visit him, and he was in bad shape.
Do you want to see me do something stupid?
that you always do.
I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna hit this long enough that it blinks.
Oh goddamn! Don't die on camera.
I'm just gonna get high. That's all.
And there goes along. You know you killed your camera, not your mic, right? Headphone warning.
I'm gonna stay like this for a minute. Do you have people come and join you
Do
here?
not bring the stick.
Do you have people come join you?
Whenever they hop on.
Yeah.
Hey Trinity, what's going on?
I can't stay up too late. I got an interview tomorrow.
Congrats.
Second interview, actually.
Nice.
And guess what it's for?
I'm scared to ask.
A dispensary job. I get to be a bud tender.
Nice.
They're
Something
gonna.
that you
there's something about like the direction I've been going in. It's more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like you've probably been seeing. I've actually been making content.
It pops up every now and then. I mean, I watch stupid shit online, so it's not my kind of shit to listen to, but
You should take a look into it. There's some interesting shit. I even got into a community that I never thought I'd get into, but because like, let's just be honest, the biggest thing is NFTs are fucking cringe. But
hey, you make your money where you can make your money. What up, Vic?
I won this NFT, and it gave me half off in dispensaries. It's gonna give me half off on fucking dab rigs and dab tools and fucking nails, bongs, everything.
Nice.
And it gets me into a cannabis event, which I'm going to in New York City for free.
Yeah, and you know your camera's off.
Yes, it's staying off because I look like shit.
Okay. No, I thought you were showing the NFT. I was like, it's a good thing your camera's off because motherfuckers steal that shit.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, it gets me into this event for free for life.
Well, as long as you have the NFT.
Yeah, which I'm gonna have it.
Yeah. Because yeah, there's been a lot of court cases coming up on NFTs, and judges are like, dude, you could screenshot that shit. I think my favorite one I've seen recently on that was a guy was selling his it was one of those monkey NFTs, the yacht club.
I know what you're talking about.
And the fucking site put it up for the wrong price and it sold for $30.
What the fuck?
And he's trying to get it back because I didn't want to sell it for $30.
Oh, real quick.
Yep.
Another thing with this NFT, when it comes to that event, that secret sesh is what the event's called.
Mm-hmm.
They have a holders only lounge. And pretty much the holders of the NFT get treated pretty much VIP. Pre-rolled joints being rolled for you the whole night, free dabs, you get free product, you get to get into the event early. And apparently, like, you just get treated like you, because you want to know how much the package for that whole VIP experience was?
How much?
It used to be $420.
Yeah, people that spend that kind of shit have more money than sense.
But here's the cool thing: I didn't have to pay a cent for mine. I showed up for a movie night for Pineapple Express. We watched Pineapple Express in the server, in their Discord server, and I won the NFT for free, and it's already minted, so I didn't have to worry about that either.
Nice, nice,
And it lets me get into an event that I've been wanting to go to forever for free.
good. I mean, NFTs that have shit behind it, I say are worth it.
Hmm. By the way, I never thought that in a million years that I'd be talking about NFTs like this, but it's like this one actually has a fucking purpose. It has a use. I think that's the only reason why I fuck with it so much
Well,
is because like the utility for it, like you even get half off on this thing called a Carta 2, which is like a really fancy dab e-rig.
well, mind you, the real famous NFTs all have utility to them. They're not just, oh, I'm buying this picture.
You could tell I'm still
They're
fucked up.
they all do the same shit like yours does. Like those the the monkey one
Yeah.
actually gets you into a fucking yacht club with some famous motherfuckers, and they have a yacht party every year, and
See,
you have to
that's
have an NFT to get it.
see
Get
that
in.
I love NFTs that have utility because when they have utility, then it gives you a reason to. Because like if the only thing it is like, oh, you have this NFT and you have it, makes no
Yeah,
fucking sense. Now, if having this NFT gets you into a special club and it also lets you kind of experience the finer things of life, like in this case, I'm getting to meet cannabis industries in the East Coast because they're having an East Coast event in New York City.
hmm
So I'm going to get to meet all of these companies and do some networking because of the fact that not only am I posting on Instagram, I'm posting on YouTube. So there's potential for content coming out of that too.
but just be make sure that you're allowed to fucking make the content that you're planning on making before you start making.
Well, I mean, Instagram's probably going to eventually get to me once I start getting somewhere with it. All the
Yeah,
famous YouTubers go through the shit. They're working on something called the Social Club, and it's pretty much Instagram for stoners.
yeah. But I'm not saying for the make sure it's okay for the platforms. I'm just saying make sure it's okay for the event because since this is an event you actually want to go to,
Hmm.
you don't want to be kicked out for having a camera where you should.
Oh no, they bring cameras. Everybody brings cameras. YouTubers go in there.
Like I said, I'm just make sure it's
I'll
all
double.
good beforehand so that you don't.
Yeah, I'll double check with the guy that runs the events.
There are plenty of people that have gone to events and yeah, you're not supposed to be recording in here, and they get thrown the fuck out. And NFT or not, they'll still treat you that way. I'm just saying that to double check to cover your ass.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna double check.
Well, we're already planning for next year's gathering. Uh,
Did you see any of my friends there?
I didn't go this year.
You
I
didn't
didn't
go.
make it. No, we didn't have enough people at work to cover the shifts for me to take 2 weeks off,
That's fair.
so I didn't go.
I heard there was a lot. Like I heard there was some shit that went down, but I don't know anything about it, and I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard no big shit. You know, I mean, I, of course there were people that OD'd and shit
Hmm.
like that, but I haven't heard of like knockdown drag out fights going on.
Yeah, no more beefing, really.
Yeah,
'Cause, like, I'm in this mindset that, like, I honestly hope that everybody is doing well.
no, craziest community's fucking shattered right now.
Not my business. Not my business.
Fucking it's split. and it was a whole thing between Snaps and Scully.
That's not my business.
Yeah, but that's what that's the bullshit going on right now that I said would have sent you in a fucking downward spiral because
Yeah,
people know not to make me choose, but I'm sure they'd be wanting you to choose sides.
I stayed out of it.
Yeah, that's what,
I'm not a I'm not a part of that community, and like getting involved in back and forth, it just would stress me out.
and
I,
church did the same thing. Church said, "Yeah, fuck this." He's
I
steered clear of all.
I hope he's doing well. I actually need to tell him about this event because I feel like he would love this shit.
Oh, he would, but him getting that kind of money to go to something like that.
I mean, it's in New York City.
Well, but getting in,
If if you don't have an NFT, well, this event's holders only, but I feel like I could get Church in that server and he could definitely get an NFT if he just hangs around in there long enough.
oh yeah, but that's church's forte. You know that.
Yeah, I'll talk with him about it because I feel like this is something that he would absolutely enjoy and just fucking love.
Yeah,
Besides,
especially if you get one of those NFTs that gets in the VIP where he gets free fucking smoke.
like I want him to try the Carta 2. Like this dad thing is like crazy. Like you could even heat this fucker up with an app on your phone.
I don't know if he did.
This would make it easier. You don't have to worry about a torch. You don't have to worry about butane. You don't have to worry about a rig.
I'm not gonna say he don't dab. I just don't know if he does.
I'll ask him on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like the reason why I haven't been around is just because like I just don't want to get pulled into it, and I know that there's still people that I know who have not forgiven me for shit, and I don't blame them because I was a little asshole.
Yeah. See, that's what. If you ever want to check on the community, you could always come to me because I don't hold grudges. I don't. I handle shit when it happens.
I still feel like you were surprised as fuck. Like when there was that misunderstanding, and I like actually chested up to you in DMs. You're like, oh shit.
Oh, trust me, I went to motherfuckers. I was like, this motherfucker grew some balls.
It was
It was
misplaced.
just people were telling me shit that could have been taken out of context, which is why I came to you the way I did, saying, "Hey, this is the way people are seeing it. You may want to check your shit."
Like I never found anything threatening from it. It's like very much that whole grandfather, like, oh, Sonny.
Yeah, but that's the way I come at everybody else. That's how come people don't get pissed when I come at them with something stupid
But like you
because I'm
said,
not coming. I don't come at you accusing you of shit.
yeah.
It's, hey, this is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck's going on?
And the interesting thing was like, even in that message, your retort back, you still said, "Got to give you props for having the balls to come at me like this, though."
Uh huh.
Up until now, I thought that was sarcasm.
No, I told I told Scully, I was like, dude, this motherfucker had the balls to buck up. Congrats.
What was his reaction to it?
He goes, damn. I he, he was surprised too because you've always been that one to cower down and okay.
I mean, a lot of the time that I cower down, it's just because I'm fucking fed up, and and you can't really just say, "Okay, I have no energy for this," because that's not going to make it stop.
But that's why I come to people the way I do because it's not confrontational. It's, hey, I want you. This is what I'm hearing. Give me your side.
It's
I want
pretty
to
much
make sure before I start jumping your ass.
pretty much I'm at this point of like I don't want to spend my entire life worrying about what other people are doing and then get involved.
The only time you need to worry when what people are doing is when they're doing good.
Mm,
When they fucking up, keep them at arm's reach. I ain't a part of that shit.
it's just like I am 28 years old, about to be 29 next year. I'm starting to get to my 30s. Like I'm eventually going to be there. And it's like do I really want to keep just engaging in back and forth shit with other adults? Everybody's got their own shit and I just feel like who the fuck am I to like get involved in that shit?
Yeah.
Besides, for most people, it's personal.
hmm But
I
on a
don't know.
good note, though,
Hmm?
Boy Blue made it to the gathering.
Oh, did he? Finally?
Yeah, yeah. Someone bought him a ticket and he went.
Nice.
And he's gonna try. He goes. He had the time of his fucking life, and he's gonna try and go again.
Nice.
He says he don't want to miss one now because he's went. Like,
Did you see
oh,
well you didn't go, but Leonard went again and this time Leonard went without me.
oh,
He had fun.
that's a scary thought.
No, Leonard was fine.
He has a tendency to go a little off the rails.
He's doing better and he's kind of figured things out a little bit more.
Yeah,
He camped with Sly and everybody.
yeah. The
And
last I heard from him was when he got a girlfriend
yeah,
a couple
no
of years ago,
yeah,
and
that's not a thing anymore.
yeah, she messaged me wanting to know about him because he wanted her to know his friends. I was like, Catherine, I know. He's a good guy.
I wonder if by the way, this pen, this little black disposable that I got, live resin.
Nice.
I don't know if this pen blinks though. I don't think it would be safe for me to blink with this one
Don't,
because it's live resin.
don't.
But yeah, my second interview is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've already been mentally going through the questions, including like right now I'm watching a video. Like I was about to start watching the rest of it, and then you message me, and it's
Yeah.
talking about more cannabinoids and everything like that. Like I'm literally trying to learn things so that way I can help people find what they need.
Yeah. You're doing your homework before you need to do your homework.
Yeah, because
It's a
like, look,
smart thing because your boss may ask some shit.
it's because it's like this. Like in legit shit. Like once I started figuring out what worked for me, I started trying to figure out what worked for because I'm living with Aaron now. Like I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati, and I got Erin to try her first edible,
Ooh.
but unfortunately, she overdid it. We were supposed to give her a corner. She ate two 20-milligram edibles.
So sort of like you with the Jolly Rancher at the gathering pre-party.
Shut the fuck up. Shut your bitch ass up. No, I think
I didn't
no,
eat any of those edibles.
I think the worst edible though was that fucking Rice Krispie treat, the one that I ended up getting from Mac and Hose near the end. Because
Yeah,
remember, he ended up like giving me like the rest of the fucking edibles to take with me.
yeah,
Because you guys were just
I
like, here you go, Scrappy.
yeah. I wasn't gonna fuck with them.
And I felt so bad though, because like I was supposed to go to Pennsylvania with a friend, and I ate a bit of that edible, and I passed the fuck out on her when I was supposed to keep her company. I feel so bad. I still feel bad. She's forgiven me, but I still feel terrible.
That shows you're a good friend.
But
The fact they've forgiven you, but you still feel like shit. no, I ended up keeping that whole bag of edibles that Wolf gave me for the entire fucking gathering, and ended up giving them to the fucking RV guy because I was trying to pass him out the last day. Hey, I'm not gonna carry this shit with me home. Here, no
I
one
was
wanted shit.
I was still so happy to see like familiar people the last time I went.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
could
we're
I just couldn't swing that price. There was no fucking way, and there was no way I could sell enough popsicles to fucking make that.
yeah. Oh, no. Getting this job, you may have enough money next year.
My next goal is to fucking go to the West Coast again.
And I got we're planning if all work goes well. I'm planning to do another cook off next year.
Nice.
And if Dr. Shocker can make it, I'm sure he'll join in. I've got a bunch of other randoms that are, yeah, fucking, I'll cook, fine, fuck it. I'll let them know there's no fucking prize.
Do you remember those two ninjas that were near us that would like always be cooking burgers and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like like when we got to the end of our campsite, they were in that little like grove
Yeah,
on the other side. Like
yeah.
those guys. I still have not seen them. Like I looked for them the last gathering I went to.
So you went to the 2021?
Yeah.
I didn't make that one either. I didn't have the money for that one.
Like I got to finally experience Legend Valley and I loved it.
Legend Valley is great, dude.
I was I
It
had a
sucks
bad
that your first one was Springville because that locate
no.
the
Well,
use of that location.
I
The
remember
location sucked. The gathering was great.
we say that one's my first, not the other one.
Oh yeah, God, you went to yeah,
Fucklahoma.
yeah, yeah. Your first two gatherings kind of had a downfall to them.
I mean, I loved Indiana because of the experience that I did have.
Yeah,
And
and I still use you as an example. If this motherfucker could get laid at the gathering, anybody can.
we met up again. Remember when she like fucking tripped, like trying to tackle hug me at the gathering that we saw?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't talked to her in a while, but she's just been busy. She's a trucker now.
Nice. Uh,
But apparently I was missed and I was looked for.
there was a let that saw me at the 2019 gathering in my C string that found me on Chatterbait.
Oh, do you remember that one the one that had the beautiful fucking dreads and she was British.
Yeah.
She was from England.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she was asking for me. Like she went and asked Talks where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, when I have the money again, like when I am making money and things are comfortable, then I will try to go to the next gathering. But
Yeah.
I am definitely gonna try and like get a fucking ballless pass and then hope that somebody will bring an RV. Because if I'm gonna go to the gathering again and I have money, I want to be comfortable.
What you do, you get the ballast pack, hook up, talk to Dr. Shocker, give him a place to park his shit.
But
Shocker rents out RV. So he has an RV.
but
All of his were just out for rent that year. That's how come he brought that shitty one.
and you know what I'm gonna do though? Most of the time, I'm not even gonna really go to like a lot of the shows and stuff. I just want to chill out at a camp, have like the fucking balcony, like the little canopies up,
Mm-hmm.
and then just make it where we just sit there and smoke together.
You're gonna gather like I do. You know how many shows I went to in 2019? One. I was drugged to the ICP set.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. There's one show that I regret seeing at the gathering last year, and you already know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I had that interview taken down. I fucking regret it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Also, it made me very, very happy to see that familiar YouTubers that I know making videos on it. Like, it was just like, okay, everything is still the same.
All right. Yeah. But
By the
yeah,
way, hmm?
besides the latest drama, everything else is still circling around CP and being locked up.
When does he get out?
Don't know. He's still waiting on his court date.
Mm-hmm. Well, sending him legitimately, this is not fucking sarcasm, sending him strength, and I hope that, like, he's able to fight this shit and get out.
You know, if you could get a hold, if you ever want to,
I donated a little bit.
yeah, if you wanted ever want to send shit to him directly, get a hold of Scully and he can get you the info. Yeah, I know he's got it because he's in him, Crazy, and Snaps were the ones that had direct contact with him.
Yeah.
I donated a little bit for when they did the GoFundMe shit, but I
Mm,
ain't had the money to. I've been loaning out money to other ninjas that need it.
yeah. I'm trying to save up for this New York trip.
Yeah,
I have to
smart
pay
move.
I have to pay $75 on the 30th for the Airbnb that we rented. And then apparently the guy who's wanting to get the Airbnb with me wants to get my bus ticket. Because I'm only going to be in New York for October 30th, the night of the event. But there's going to be 7 of us in a fucking Airbnb. It's crazy.
Oh, that's when they hold the event.
No, the
Church won't be
event's
able to
gonna.
make it.
Well, no, I could tell you what the event is.
No.
Like where the event is going to be at. It's going to be at Irving Plaza.
Yeah, but church won't be able to make an event if it's an annual event held on that day. Church will never go.
Oh, it's not an annual event. It's
Oh
just
well.
that's the one day that they're having it. Oh yeah, Hello Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that it looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But like, I need to
Yeah.
go to this event. This event
Yeah.
would be huge for the stuff that I'm doing.
Yeah. I ain't telling you which event's going to. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, this one church ain't gonna go to. You can get him a ticket and he won't go.
I'll just get him to go to one of the LA ones. We'll fly out to LA and go to that one.
I, Butterball, stop it.
Because I'm very much in the mindset that, like, with this whole fucking stoner vlogging shit, like, I want to get my friends that I know can fucking smoke and, like, bring them around these communities because I know that, like, it's going to be fun.
Did you ever check out that YouTuber I told you about before?
Which one?
Gamer Pro or Gamer Pro, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he does stream. He does streams like this sometimes, and it's a bunch of fucking stoners,
Yeah,
growers,
yeah,
shit like that.
yeah, I've subscribed to him. I also watch Eric Kahn, Dope as Yola.
I hopped on one of his streams, and he had me backstage for like 30 minutes, and I had to go to work, and so I left. Came back during lunch. He was still live. I hopped back on. He goes, "Dude, sorry it took so long." He goes, "I was just checking your shit in the background."
Canary Stack. God damn.
Hey,
Is that Chuck?
I believe so.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm not part of all the drama shit. Like I'm just doing my thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Zimmer.
Besides,
I
remember,
I
remember,
placed my
remember
statement
what
on it, and I stood by my statement.
happened? I still remember the one time I tried to fucking say shit and I got fucking roasted. It was fucking great.
Yeah, I like that. I put my statement out there. I stood by my statement. I still stand by my statement. And you know, that's the way I am. If I'm ever proven wrong on shit, I'll come up and hey, I was wrong. I'm
Mm.
human.
The
Yeah,
good thing about the disposable I got, more of an indica, so it's a little bit better for sleep and shit.
yeah. Oh, I went back through some old videos to see just seeing what was still up.
Hmm.
I got a copyright claim on the video you tried to do Tech Nine, right? Don't feel bad. I did drunk karaoke one night and I got claimed on that one too.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore.
I still drink on occasion. I got me a bottle of whiskey right now. Well, God damn it. All right. I'll lock the dog up real quick. Oh shit. Dog. Another dog was walking, so he
All
went
right.
chase it. Oh fuck. I
All
hate
right.
that shit.
Well, I gotta go. I gotta get some sleep for this fucking interview.
All right, man. Been
But
nice
hey,
talking with you.
hey, thanks for bringing me on. Hope you have a good stream, dude.
All right. Hit me up anytime you want to talk, man.
Definitely. Later, fam. Whoop whoop.
But, whoop. Uh, yeah, the heat of my pit is not getting hot enough to do the fajitas, so I think I might end up doing those another night. It's struggling with the chicken right now, and I ran out of charcoal. Yeah, that's what you get when you run off. It was good to talk with an old friend. Go ahead and post the link again for anyone who wants to pop up. Oh, I'll be up here for a little bit longer. And I'll see what the fuck's going on elsewhere. See if I can pull a twofer for tonight. I'll let it hit the hour mark and then I'll bounce. You know what pops up. I know the way this shit works. I'm gonna get the right at an hour and fucking someone hop on. I'm getting to about 250. I'm so steady. Chicken should be able to get done. One more smoke and that'll be the end of it. And anyone could hop up. You know, 3 people watching. This is it.
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Just out here barbecuing.
Right on, man. I heard you saying that you're probably not going to be staying on too much
Yeah.
longer. Wanted to come up and
Wanted to come on to hop off.
I'm back. I think.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
happened? What happened was when I first got involved in doing this StreamYard stuff, and I blocked my mic and cam on the phone because they asked me,
Uh-huh.
to use it, right? And I guess I
Yeah.
clicked no, and then I couldn't use StreamYard on my phone. So I've been kind of fighting with that, man, trying to get it to work on here. Because otherwise I got to get out my laptop. All the times I've been on with you guys, I got to get out my laptop and go through all that. So the other day I was like, I'm gonna give it one more shot, and I was actually over at uh, Rebels channel, and I was trying to figure it out, and he was getting pissed. He's like, "Man, this motherfucker keeps coming in the basement, but I can't bring him." And you know how he gets, or maybe you don't know. Do you know Rebel?
Yeah, I've heard of him. I've seen
Okay,
his
yeah,
videos.
yeah. So he was getting all charged up, man. But I finally figured it out, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to just figure out my StreamYard, man. I'm not trying to fuck with you." So this is the first time I'm doing it on the phone.
I,
So I guess it's a little bit easier. The only thing is I can't see the chat. But if I
if you go down, there's a thing that says chat. If you click
yeah, if
on
I
that,
click,
it'll pull the chat up, and then you switch it over to comments.
oh, okay. So now I can see the chat, and
Yeah.
then if I want to see something that, let's say you put something in the private, then I click on that,
Yeah.
and if I close it, then it bring. Okay, I see. Then it brings it back to you and I. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot easier on the laptop when you're wanting to see everything.
Yeah, yeah, I see that.
But if you're just in here to bullshit and fuck the chat, phone's easier.
Right. Yeah, I see. Because I like when I'm on a panel, especially if there's like multiple people, like if there's like 3, 4, 5 people, to be able to see who's talking, right? See things light up, or
Yeah.
but I could just bounce back into the. Okay, cool. It was my first time. Dude, I just wanted to come up and say hello. I've had my boys a lot lately. My ex-weather mom's been out of town on business, so I've had them more than usual the last few weeks, which is a good thing. But
Yeah.
I do this less when they're around. Like I said, I was telling you the other day, we were playing some MLB The Show, and I was actually just doing that with them with them now again, because that's one video game that they have that I can. It's slow enough that I can play along with either with them or against them, and at least have a fighting chance of what's going on.
Yeah.
When they were really into Fortnite a couple years ago,
Oh, yeah, no.
I thought, man, you know what? I'm gonna get on there, and I got on with them on my one son's PlayStation, so I could play with my other son and his friends. You know, because you do squads, right? It's 4 guys, and you're hooked up with the mic. And all that ended up happening was I had a bunch of young kids just like yelling at me and calling me names because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, I've been in that situation. Yeah, this ain't my game.
I mean, you got so many, buttons and things, and they're like, man, grab the such and such and change over to that and build the thing. And and here I am looking at the controller. Oh, X, okay, I got it. And then, and they're already so many moves ahead of me, man. Then they're like, hey, Dad, if you want to watch us, that's cool, but
You're dragging a team down.
yeah. It was a little humbling, man. They have a bunch. Well, at that time, God, they were, 11, 12-year-old, just like yelling at me.
Yeah. I tried Fortnite myself a couple times. If I want a shooting game, I play a shooting game. If I want a building game, I'll play a building game. I don't want both in one.
Yep. Yeah, Fortnite's everything, man. You're building, you're shooting, you're hiding, you're dancing, you got teams and squad. And again, you got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got 8 buttons and 3 ways of moving the characters. For somebody that's pushing 50, that was a lot to digest at one time. So basically, I ended up spending a lot of time just hiding, trying not to get killed. That was kind of
yeah. That when I played squads, they saw my KD. Yeah, just stay alive.
Right. That's it. Yeah,
We'll
just stay out of the
you.
way. And but yeah, baseball moves slow enough that I can,
and the rules stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's the same. That was the other thing, man. Then they started the other team, I guess, started accusing us of, something you're not supposed to do that I was hiding, right? And I guess the way I was
doing camping.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I was camping out and I was this and that. So I had those guys mad at me playing my guys. Like,
it's not that you're not allowed to do it, it's that it pisses people off that don't want camp.
Yeah.
Because it's a strategy. Back when I was playing Call of Duty, they'd get pissed off fucking the one person in the team that's actually supposed to be camping. They're pissed off at him because he had a high gauge KD and he was camping. He was a sniper. What the fuck are you gonna do? Run around with a sniper?
Right. Right. Yeah, so that was all kind of beyond me. But I've gotten a little bit into and the fun thing about the this MLB The Show thing is they have these challenges and things, and you can buy like old players, like guys that like I remember. And so that's been kind of fun. Like in fact, my son today just bought Willie Mays as a center fielder. And it's like, cool, man. And then they're so realistic, man. They move and look like them. And I have a lot of fun with just seeing the old time players and stuff. And it's something something for us to do together, man. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's plus.
Yeah, but I see that
and it's good you could put the internet aside and spend time with your kids.
Yep.
There's a lot of people on here that can't.
No, for sure, man. I see that all the time, man. And I don't, some of the people that I see on here, I just don't. Yeah, I don't get that. How they're like on here just consistently. I mean, every day, man, and rooms and panels and this and that, and they're talk about all the kids they have and all these things, and it's like man, you got all these things kind of going on, but yet you're always around. you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know. For me,
I'll hop on panels before I go to work for a little bit. My night's off. I'll throw up my stream if there's not a panel going on that I could get on. And that's the only time I'm here.
right.
Yeah. I have ice cream.
Yeah.
Besides that, I'm watching shit. Old recorded shit.
Right, right, I mean, it's just you, right? I mean, you don't. I mean, you don't have. I mean, kids or I mean, a
Only
family.
thing, only thing that requires my attention that lives with me is my dog right
Yeah,
now.
right there you go. There you
And I
go.
just locked his ass up because he decided to run off me.
Yeah, I heard you saying something. Yeah, wait, I heard you say that's what you get for running off.
Yeah. The neighbors let their dog out to go to the bathroom. He ran over there to go play with the dog.
Yeah, so
So
that. I mean, yeah, people use it as entertainment, something to. I mean, I get it. You know, it's the people that seem to have other things that should be priorities that maybe aren't. That I kind of I wonder, but that's their business, not mine. Like I said, when I got my boys here, I'm on a lot less. When it's just then when they're not here, it's just me. I don't even have an animal to take care of. So I'll jump around a little bit, but a lot of all the drama stuff, man. I'm just tired of it on every angle, man. It just it just ends up frustrating and upsetting me, and there's nothing I can really do about any of it. So
yeah, that's what's good about my stream. The only drama that's brought here is the shit that's brought on panel by people.
yeah, I mean it's just right. I mean, and I think I mean I see you as a person that's not going to let it get out of control. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, shit talking is one thing, man, but when they're, the other day I was in one and it got really bad on the doxing, man, and it was, where they were, spamming the doxing, man, and it's like, and the person who was running the channel wasn't doing anything about it, man. And it's like, eventually something's gonna happen, man, and then somebody's gonna get hurt, somebody's kids are gonna get hurt, something's gonna happen, and I don't know.
And that's why, as of right now, I don't give a fuck about my dog. If people put it out there, because it's just me, and I've already been let known. Hey, you show up here unannounced, and you have any aggression, you ain't leaving.
Right.
This is Texas.
Right. That's the thing, man. And it's like, man, I've gotten pushed, almost to that point, a couple times with people, and it's like, look, man, hey, man, I've kind of made it, the way that I talk. If you're really listening, you can get a pretty good idea where I live. I live in a small town, man. You come here. I'd say if you're really judicious about it, I mean, within an hour, you can find me. I mean, people know, people know everybody. But once you come here, then what?
Yeah, but also being in a small town, if there's someone out there looking for you, you're gonna know before they find you.
Right, exactly. Because somebody was talking about, stand your ground state and all that. I was like, man, I live on a stand your ground court. You want to come down here, you got no business down here. You're gonna have a problem, man. And it may not, like it may not be me. I mean, if my neighbors see somebody fucking around over here, they're gonna talk to you and they're gonna do something. It might get taken care of before I'm even here. I just don't want. I'm just not looking for that kind of activity. You know what I mean? That's not why I'm on here. But people have just gotten stupid like that, right? About oh, you're associating with this person and you're doing that, and you were talking shit, and I'm like, okay, and now you're gonna fucking have people send me messages, saying I got your IP and I know where you are, and I know I'm gonna expose your past, and Well, okay.
It's funny because I see how little I've seen how little impact I have on the internet because yeah, my phone number got put out there to a bunch of people that were talking shit, and I have not received one phone call or one text message yet.
Yeah,
Because
see,
when I found out, I was like, dude, when I'm unless I can't look at my phone, my shit's set to do not disturb, so it doesn't go off all the time.
right.
It'll tell me what fucking phone calls I got, but it just won't make no fucking noise.
Right.
And if I'm at work, so I can't look at my phone, then I let it ring. And after that, it's like, still nothing. Okay.
Oh, hey, being down in Texas, have you had any issues with the flooding? I mean, you seem pretty laid back, so figure.
We got a good drainage system up here
Okay.
near where I'm at. I mean, we didn't even flood during Ike or Harvey when the hurricanes come through here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's certain streets they'll flood a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but they'll only be flooded for a couple hours and then it's gone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, some of that
My,
shit looked pretty bad.
my backyard, on the other hand, is a fucking pond.
Oh, yeah.
We get a light rain and my backyard floods.
Interesting.
But it's my backyard is set lower than the yards
Yeah.
around it. So
Yeah. Yeah, when I used
eventually I'll get the money and the time to fucking level that shit out.
yeah, level it up. Yeah, as long as it's not affecting, I mean, your structure, I mean, you're probably okay, but
Brick house. Ain't gotta worry
yeah.
about it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
As long as there's no cracks and it can't get in, I'm good.
Yeah, when we bought our house in San Jose, one of the things in the disclosure was that we were below flood level, right?
Yeah.
And my wife at the time, like she was all concerned about that, and I'm like, look, I'm just letting you know right now, if we're flooding where we are, everybody's fucked, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're below flood level, but we're not near any bodies of water. I mean, if it's raining that hard that we're flooding out, look
Yeah.
for the guy that's building the ark. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
what keeps us from flooding a lot is we got Galveston blocking us from all the big storms. It's
Oh,
got to
okay.
hit Galveston first, and then it hits us.
Okay.
People don't
Yeah,
realize they think Galveston's just a tourist spot.
right.
Galveston is built to protect the mainland.
Interesting.
It was
Okay.
a storm break when it started,
Oh, okay.
but it has beautiful. It has not beautiful beaches, but it has beaches, so people fucking go there for tourism.
Right. Right. And where I am now, well, I don't know. They're saying this winter we may actually get some, decent rain here, but
Mhm.
in the 11 years that I've lived here, uh, I mean, you guys probably got more rain during that flood than we got down here in that whole time, man. It's just we get hardly any rain down here, and that's not good on the other way.
Well, we're pretty set here for on water.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
one I've enjoyed these storms that have come through because this is the first time I've seen it under 80 all
Yeah,
summer.
right. Yeah, it's like here, man. It's been God. The other day, I think it got down to 97, and like everybody was outside. It was
Yeah.
that was like a break in the heat. I mean, it's been 100 plus, man, here for over a month already.
Mm, I'm
And it's,
I'm still getting worried. I'm still scared because hurricane season is well underway and we haven't seen shit.
Mm. Yeah.
And I'm not just talking Texas wise. Nothing
Right.
is built up.
Right. Right.
Which tells me Mother Nature's about to pull a fuck you on us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I think that's I think that's coming at some point, man. Mother Nature's undefeated,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Anyways, everything
And
else is doing okay with you, man. You're doing good.
everything else is good, man.
Good. Good. Cool.
As as the phone call I give my grandma, and my mom every couple weeks. Still got my home. I'm not in jail, and I'm still working.
There you go. Right. Hey, man.
My life's set.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. These days, man, you're ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I had a female friend come over before I started the stream. Handled her. She went home. I started cooking and started a live stream.
I did hear though the big disappointment of the night is no fajitas.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. If it starts kicking up in temperature a little bit, you know how the chicken goes, because it's not one. It's cooking. It's just taking forever.
Well, if the worst thing you got going on is that you don't have enough charcoal and enough heat to make fajitas, you're doing all right.
Yeah, it just means that I'll put them in the freezer, save them for another day off.
There you go.
It'll go in there with the steaks I got for emergency, the sausage and all that shit.
Right, right.
And everyone gets on me about why do you freeze your meat? And it's because if I lose power, I think he forgets that he's on his phone now.
I don't know what I
Yeah.
did that time.
The leave button is a bitch, and if you got an Android, swiping makes you get out too.
What does?
If you swipe, if you like do back on the browser,
Oh, okay.
it'll kick you out of the live too.
I think that's what I did because I went to the I just went into the chat to see if anybody was in there, and I think I did the back, and that's what kicked me out.
Yeah, but yeah, people get on to me all the time because I freeze meat that I get, and if I lose power, that makes it where I have ice packs, and when it thaws out, I can cook it.
Right.
It's better than having a shit ton of meat in my refrigerator that, okay, I got to cook this now or it's going to go bad.
Why would they? Oh, why would they get on you for freezing the meat?
Well, because when you freeze meat and when you thaw it back out, it changes color and looks bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
But they don't realize that if you freeze it properly, vacuum seal and all that shit,
right,
you can keep it years.
Yeah, for sure.
I got some emergency steaks in there from 2018, and they're still good.
Right.
They just got thought out.
Yeah, when I was married, we had one of those vacuum sealing like machines, basically.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife, yeah, she would freeze all kinds of different stuff in there.
Yeah, and I'd have my father-in-law vacuum seal all my stuff because he has a vacuum sealing machine. But I found out it's just as easy to get a Ziploc and a vacuum cleaner and do the same thing.
Yeah, just all you're really doing is sucking the air out of it. I forget I forget what that thing was called, but I mean she still got it, I guess. I didn't, it's not something that I that I have stuff in the freezer, but most of my emergency stuff is canned, and that kind of stuff. If we get to that point, but
My father-in-law got it because he'll go out whenever shit's on sale, steak, biscuits, and shit like that,
right,
and then he'll buy them on sale and then freeze them
mm-hmm.
so that when meat's expensive like it is now,
right,
he said,
yeah. Well, she used to get she used to go and get like the big stuff at Costco. That was the thing. And it was just her and I, and then we had the kids, but they were they were small then. But you would get these big, like tri-tip and all this stuff, like we were having a barbecue, and then do the vacuum seal and all that stuff, and it worked out fine. And she would vacuum seal like fruit and stuff too.
Yeah,
and that way to make smoothies and that kind of stuff, and it was all good. And like you said, I mean, it'll last forever that way. Unless you start fooling around and trying to unfreeze it and refreeze it, and then you run into problems.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have that problem a couple months ago because we had a decent thunderstorm out here. It knocked a branch off. Basically, it knocked a little tree off of my fucking shit. And it actually tore the power line to my house, from the pole to my house, from the pole.
Oh shit!
I'm glad it tore it from the pole and not the house, because then I'd have a live line laying in my yard.
Right.
But yeah, it took them forever to come over here and fix it because it only affected one house.
Oh, right, okay.
So
you weren't top priority.
Yeah. They said, yeah, we'd have gotten here a couple hours ago if they just gave us a list of everybody that needed shit done. Because literally, the people at the corner of my street, when I called it in, were having work done. And they were there for about an hour and a half after I called. And then they drove off. And they showed up here because I called it in at 9 o'clock in the morning. They didn't show up till 3.
Oh, jeez.
And they said, yeah, we went all around Texas City. He goes, we started working here on the street. He goes, we could have gotten you done earlier. But it only affected one person, so it was low priority.
Right. Now, have you ever seen a transformer blow?
Yes, I have.
Isn't that something?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful green light.
Oh man, years ago, we had a pole in our backyard with a transformer on it. And I was sleeping, man, and that thing fucking blew, and I thought they dropped the bomb, man. I thought that was the end of the world, man, with that thing. And what it did was it blew out, and then it did exactly what you're talking about. It dropped a live wire into my neighbor's yard, caught some grass on fire, and my cousin lived about a block away, like in a 2-story house. And they could see down where I was, and I had a shed in the backyard, and they thought the shed was on fire. So after the big explosion, I get this call: your shed's on fire. What the fuck? But it wasn't. It was the neighbor's yard. So then the fire department comes. They think the fire's in my yard. Instead of, letting me know what was going on, they decided the best bet was just to break down the gate to get in there. So they bust down the gate, then realize it's next door. But because what you were talking about with the live wire, they had to leave someone there.
Yeah.
Until PG&E could come out. I think it was the next morning because this happened like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then it was like the next day before they. Yeah, it was a fucking. So I ended up with a busted gate. No electricity, of course. The whole situation next door. But yeah, man, I never heard anything like that in my life, man. I didn't actually. I mean, I saw the flash. I didn't really see. I wasn't looking, but I mean, man, I thought I thought they, like I said, I thought they dropped the big bomb, man. I thought that was holy shit.
Yeah. The ones I've seen have been due to lightning strikes and overpowering the lines.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's a good thing they have the transformers there to stop a overflow,
Well, yeah.
because if the surges that those protect against were to get to the house,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
a lot of damage.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean,
It would fry a breaker box.
sure. Yeah, it was fucking crazy, man. I just couldn't believe just the sound and that that flash of light, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's a big green light because of all the copper that's in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That copper going up in flames real fast.
Yeah, man. It was fucking crazy. Anyway. It was some kind of night, man. Anyway, man. Hey, I won't hold you up on here on too long, man. I know you were about to get down anyway.
I don't know.
And I was gonna get up, and then I heard you say, "Man, I know as soon as I'm about to get down, somebody's gonna come in."
Yeah, that's the way my streams always go. It's I'll say, oh yeah, I'm getting bored. I'm gonna let it run for this long, and then right before it hits that time, someone pops on. Okay, I'll stay out.
But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to come up and, like I said, we'll try my thing, but more just to say hi, see how you're doing, man. I always
I'm glad you got working on that.
yeah, I always enjoy our chats, man. And like I say, you're one of the great storytellers of our time, man. I love it. And they're
It's
all
always
true.
good to have some
That's
good
that's
stories.
the best part.
Yeah.
They're all true, and you always leave us wanting more.
Well, if everything goes as planned, this time next year, I'll have a new barbecue story because I'm planning to go to the gathering of the Juggalos next year
Okay.
and have another barbecue cook-off. And I've already got at least 4 people wanting to compete.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now, do you do any like local competitions down where you are, or you just or
Uh,
it's just,
we used to, but they started getting one-sided, so we stopped.
oh, okay.
They were we the team we had put together would win every year, every cook-off. So they started throwing our shit away. So we didn't
Okay.
see a no more.
Because you didn't what?
They were throwing our shit away, so we didn't see a point in competing anymore.
Oh, okay.
We actually witnessed it. We had somebody watch them, and they looked at it like, yeah, that's them. Threw it right in the fucking trash. Like, oh, y'all motherfucker.
Oh, wow, that's fucked up.
We confronted them. They said, well, we have to give other people a chance to win, or people will stop competing.
Yeah.
Then they need to get better.
Right.
And then they started throwing arbitrary bullshit rules out.
Yeah.
They disqualified our ribs because the bone, you could slide the bone out with no force. And they
Okay.
said,
Isn't that a good thing?
well, it's a good thing when you're eating the ribs because you could just slide the fucking bone out clean.
Right.
But they said, oh, that shows that you boiled the ribs beforehand. But we didn't.
Mm.
We didn't know how to cook them.
Right.
And they were disqualifying us for that. Our briskets they were just throwing away. Our gumbo, our gumbo and chili they disqualified because they said it had identifiers in it.
Meaning, what does that mean?
If you use certain ingredients like okra, the shit that'll stick out,
Okay.
they say that's an identifier, so we could be cheating.
Oh, okay.
Y'all are the
Wow.
fucking judges.
Wow.
Have we paid any of you off?
Wow.
It became too much bullshit, and I'm like, fuck it. So now whenever I go to the gathering, I do an amateur cook-off, and there's no prize to it. It's bragging rights, and all the money we make from it goes right to a charity. So.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, the only time I was involved in, I'm a very amateur cooker myself, but the only time I was involved in something like that was my my nephew and my ex-brother-in-law. They were involved in a chili cook-offs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the interesting thing about those, well, it was interesting to me, was everything had to be prepared there.
Yeah.
So they'd have to get there early in the morning, chop everything up. You couldn't just come with, your chili. You had to do everything, prepared there, I guess, just to show that it was all, made by you. So it turned out to be a very long day.
Yeah, it's to keep people from going out buying a bunch of cans of chili and fucking.
Right, exactly. Maybe, buy some canned chili, throw a couple of your own ingredients in there, right? And then it's, but it was cool though, man. We had a lot of fun with it. It was one of those deals, like, county fair and things like that, where people would buy tickets. Like they'd pay like $5, right? And get like 10 tickets. And then they'd go around, taste them all. And then they'd put like the tickets and the ones that they liked the best. It was like that kind of deal. And it was fun.
That's usually how we do it for the when I go to the gathering.
Yeah.
We charge people for a vote, and it's $5 for a vote, and you get to eat.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
we had people coming up. Hey, I don't have $5. Here's your fucking plate. You just don't get to vote.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
If the money was going to us, we'd be more sticklers about it. But it's just a good call.
Right. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was fun. I mean, like I said, I wasn't really much into the cooking part of it. I was more the I guess the bar, the hype man, the bar. Hey, come try our chili. That kind of thing. But it was cool, man. They did pretty good. They did pretty good with it, man. It was fun. But like anything else, man, I always think that, there's politics involved, man. No matter what level you're on, right?
Yeah. My favorite disqualification we had, they disqualified us from the seafood gumbo cook-off.
Okay.
Because they thought we paid the cook to come and do our gumbo.
Oh, jeez.
Because the guy we had actually ran a kitchen in New Orleans of a 5-star restaurant.
Oh, okay.
They pulled him to the side and they started questioning him.
Jeez.
What did we pay? Did we pay for him to get here? Did we pay for his room? Did we what did we give him for him to come cook for us? And I'll admit, we did give him shit. We made promises to him to cook, but it was all within standard. We kept his plate full of food, and we kept his ice chest full of beer. That was it.
Wow.
And that's standard for a cook-off.
Wow. So like it's pretty. I mean,
they just didn't want.
Pretty serious things going on in these cook-offs, man. So what I mean, are there big like monetary prizes involved in the ones you're talking about? Is that why it's so
Yeah, there's usually a cash prize and a trophy and shit like that.
Okay.
Uh, it got us enough recognition. We were invited to the Nationals in Houston,
Oh wow, that's cool.
and we had to turn that one down because yeah, they invited us to Nationals,
Yeah.
and when we got there, they asked us for the entry fee,
Uh huh.
$5,000.
Holy shit.
We're like, fuck you.
Wow.
We
What,
turned
what,
around and went home.
what was the? I mean, what was the grand prize though?
I I wasn't part of that conversation. That
Okay.
was my father-in-law, his friend, and our sponsor.
Hmm.
Went up to register us in, and they asked for it. And, oh, don't even unload y'all's pitch, y'all go home. All right. We already had the meet and shit, so we all went to my father-in-law's house, and
Well, you guys ate well, I'm sure.
yeah. After we stopped doing the cook-offs, we just started meeting up at each other's houses. And
Yeah, yeah.
around Thanksgiving, we head down to Tiki Island and do deep fried turkeys.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
The Super Bowl, we hit my father-in-law's house, and then any other times, we just randomly choose a person's house to go to and cook.
Right.
But yeah, our when we deep fried turkeys, we've got a couple rules. First off, since it's a lot of fire and grease, no kids,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and we've had people come over thinking we're fucking crazy
Uh huh.
because we're all sitting there around propane cookers with a bucket full of grease on them, sitting in the propane tank smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
They're like,
Right.
"No, they're gonna kill yourselves."
Right.
We'll go out doing what we love.
So what I used to do when we used to do the big Thanksgivings for the family, I got an infrared fryer,
Mm-hmm.
that actually worked really well, man.
Yeah,
I was impressed with it because I didn't want to mess with the like you said with the kids and with the oils and all that, and I found an infrared fryer, and
yeah.
I'll put that up against anybody's oven turkeys for sure. I'm certainly not going to challenge you to any kind of cook off, but
Yeah,
I mean, and I would do two of them, and the great thing about it was you do two big turkeys in that thing. You're looking probably about like 9-10 hours, right?
yeah. Well,
So I
the
would
good thing
roll
about
up a
that is
cooler, but I would roll up a cooler and tell the old lady, "Hey, I can't leave the I can't leave the fryer, unattended. So I'm just gonna have to sit here with."
that's our excuse. When we deep fry, we hey, we need some more beer. Which one of you women are gonna go get it?
Yeah. So by the
Why
time,
can't y'all go get it? We all gotta watch our own pot.
yep, gotta watch the fryer, man. Can't just leave it unattended. So by the time the dinner would be served, I'd be more fried than the turkeys. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah, we had
But
well, no, when we deep fry turkeys, we're normally doing about 30 turkeys.
oh, okay.
We take orders from everybody we know. But the good thing about your fryer is you're not set on limitations. We set limitations because you've got to have just so much oil in it so you
Right.
don't overflow. So we tell them, hey, look, this is the poundage you're allowed to have, and it's got to be fully thawed out. We'll
Yeah.
dry it off.
Yep.
We made that mistake one year.
Oh no.
Had a first one we put up. We had it was his first time deep frying a turkey with us. He didn't fully dry it
Mm.
and dropped it in that fucking hot grease. the hot peanut oil,
Yeah.
and boom. And we just looked at him like, well, it's a good thing we fry our own turkeys first. Because you ain't got no turkey now.
Right, but yeah, I know a story out here, blows up in the Bay Area, where they dropped a frozen turkey into the grease like you're talking about in a garage.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
the turkey blows up, which sends the grease flying,
Yep.
and that shit's hot enough. It making contact with anything flammable, it will catch on fire.
Yeah.
And if it hits the open flame that's underneath it, it's just gonna catch faster.
But that's what ended up happening. They ended up losing, um, yeah, most of the house. I won't say all of it, but it ended up, burning most of the house.
Yeah.
But that's,
we do it out in the open in the yard.
right.
Where if something stupid like that happens, we can control it before it gets to something that can be damaged.
Exactly.
And
my response to that: who the fuck could do that? I mean, if you're doing that, to me, that's kind of Darwin's law right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we choose to do it on Tiki Island because every house there is waterfront because they have canals that run between the houses. So everyone has a boat launch. And if it's too bad, we've never had the situation happen. We got some big sticks and we just push the fucker in the water.
Yeah, you just shove it in the water, right.
Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to stop a grease fire with water, but you got that much water, it's gonna beat the grease.
Right. Exactly.
And then when everything's said and done, we just jump down in there, get our shit back.
Right.
We have it all planned out. We've never had to do that.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, that's because you guys know what the hell you're doing, man. I mean, it's it's people, just doing crazy shit like that, man. I mean, I wouldn't even do the infrared thing inside like that, I mean, but to throw, have a oil and, frozen, anyway, people just, don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. They've had, that's why I've never understood about those smokeless grills that people are starting to get for inside the house.
Oh yeah.
That's where the flavor comes from, is the fucking smoke. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
If you want to barbecue inside, use the stove.
Right. Yeah, when we were up in San Jose, we had one of those stoves that had a grill in the middle.
Yeah, you got the griddle.
Yeah, and it was well, it certainly wasn't smokeless. I mean, you had the fan going, but like it worked pretty good. It was there when we bought the house, and it worked pretty good. I mean, it was good for, hey, you don't feel like getting the barbecue going, throw something on there. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah, I lived in this house for 2 years before I found out my stove had a griddle. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do a deep clean of the fucking house. Took the stove apart and I found I'm like, the fuck is that? I got a griddle.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. For for what it was, and like I said, certainly wasn't the smokelessness stuff that you're talking about. So so in the main chat, Dustin Orndorff said, "Yo, Johnny."
Yeah, he hops in every now and then. Just he says hi, and then that's it. It just sit there and watch.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask him if he's still there listening. Any relation to Paul Orndorff? You familiar with Paul Orndorff, Johnny?
No, I'm not.
You know the name? Paul Orndorff was a Mr. Wonderful. He was a wrestler back in the Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper days. Mr.
Oh, he is
Wonderful,
related.
Paul Orndorff. Is he?
Yeah, he just said yes, sir.
Mm. Okay. But go to bed? All right, man. Love you. Brush your teeth. Tell Dylan to go to bed. I was just telling my kids to go to bed.
Uh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you know him, or yes, sir, you're related. I'm an old time wrestling fan.
uh,
And I've gotten my kids into some of the non WWE new stuff. That's another thing
yeah,
we do together.
I was an old school wrestling fan back. He's a cousin.
No, really?
Yeah, I was an old school wrestling fan, but I didn't start watching WCW and stuff like that early on. I was I got into it because my uncle was an amateur wrestler.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah.
He just did local shit,
Right.
and they drag us to that. And so I knew from a young age that a lot of this is staged,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but I still found it entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Well, the results are all put up and all the, stuff that they do. Um, the athleticism of some of the guys, especially these days, is really incredible.
Yeah, I mean it may be staged, but shit they do still takes talent.
Yeah, yeah. My
And
uncle was he's 80. I just saw 85. He's 85 now, so he was an old school wrestling guy, man. Back when it was more real, and he's the one that got me into it.
but, so I don't care how you angle yourself.
Yeah,
Going to a fucking table hurts.
right, right, right.
You can angle it to where you don't do too much damage, but you still hurt.
For sure, yeah, for sure. So I'd gotten away from it for a long time. Then I started watching a little bit of this new one they came out with, and then my son started watching it with me. So again, it's something we kind of do together. But yeah, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, man, he was involved in the first WrestleMania back when God, they're probably on, I guess, about WrestleMania 40 now. It must be getting close to 40. Because I was in grammar school. My dad took me to watch the first one on closed circuit TV at the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium in San Francisco. I mean, there was no such thing as pay-per-view or cable or anything. It was closed circuit TV.
Yeah.
It was Orndorff, Roddy Piper against Hulk Hogan, and Mr. T was involved. Yeah, that shows you how far back I'm going.
Yeah. Well, keep it to what's on TV, what you know, and YouTube, because as with everything, the adult industry has gotten into wrestling.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention that I know that the Juggalos, ICP was pretty big into it for a while
Well, they
in
still are. They have their own
WWE.
wrestling.
Well, they have their own federation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was one of Jay's dreams to wrestle when he was a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
They started backyard. They actually got into. I want to say it was one of the W. I forget it was WCW. Yeah, I think it was WCW they got into.
WCW. I said WWE, but I think it was WCW. You're
Well,
right.
they're
Right.
they're all one thing now.
Yeah. Right. Right. But I think back then, I think they were in WCW. Right.
Yeah, it was WCW that they were in. And then when they ran their course there, they went to they started their own shit.
Right. Right. Now I
And
remember that.
they hire on some of the old big names that still wrestle.
Right. No, yeah, no, I've seen some of the stuff that they've done. Yeah.
And every year at the gathering, they have they have a big wrestling event almost every fucking night.
Right.
Uh,
some of that was some of that's on YouTube, or all of it's on YouTube. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, it is.
But I saw some of it on
Luckily,
YouTube.
my stint in the ring the one time was before everyone had camera phones.
Okay.
Because they had this beast of a woman in the ring, and she'd take any contenders. And I just happened to have enough whiskey in me to say, "Fuck it, I'll do it." I got thrown around like a fucking rag doll.
I did it again.
Yeah,
The last
but
thing I heard was "beast of a woman."
yeah, they had a beast of a woman in the ring that was taking on any contenders, and I had just enough whiskey in me to say, "Fuck it, I'll do it."
Okay.
And I got thrown around like a fucking rag doll.
Sounds like my wedding day.
I didn't land a punch. Nothing landed. It looks like I was paid off to get in there and just lose.
That's good stuff, man.
I felt it in the morning, but I was like, well, at least there's no evidence of it.
Right.
And I've been looking, and it's not there.
But when they got into I know when they got into the WCW stuff and all that, like it was like, I mean, that was pretty serious wrestling, and even the federation that they have, I mean, it's pretty well known in the wrestling community.
Yeah.
You know.
And the thing I do like about about JCW is they keep it old school style.
Right.
There's not you don't get all these acrobatic types.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They do a lot of hardcore, where basically anything goes.
Right.
And they still use the old tactics of razor blade to cut yourself and shit like that.
Right. But I mean, some of these matches, man, where they're, you got barbed wire and, tables on fire and, all this crazy stuff. I mean, like you say, there's only so much you can fake.
Yeah, they did I remember JCW's pulled a classic out of the hat of a Mankind special of Hacks in the Ring.
Yeah. Yep. That's another one. Yep.
I don't give that still hurts.
Slammed on thumbtacks and all that. Yeah, Mick Foley, man, that dude was a fucking was a monster, man. How that guy at his age is even walking. I mean, I give that guy a lot of credit, man. Those guys are tough guys, man.
And he's got to have some kind of mental disorder.
Yeah, to keep putting himself through that time and time again.
And every time he'd get fucking fired as one character, he'd come back as another.
Come back as somebody else, right. Yeah. Cactus Jack was his kind of the original one that he got big as, and then of course Mankind. I mean that's when he really became it kind of hit the real big time. But
yeah, Mankind and the Dude and
Dude Love. Yeah,
he just kept reinventing himself. And
right. In fact, I watched there was they on YouTube, there was a classic battle royal that I watched, and he entered as all three characters.
Mm-hmm.
He got eliminated as Cactus Jack, and then came back as Mankind. Got eliminated again. It was one of those what do they call those? Where they not where everybody comes in at one time, right? Like
It was a
forget what
tower
they,
event basically.
I forget what they call those. Like, yeah, one guy gets introduced every like 5 minutes, kind of thing.
Then
I forget what they call that, but
yeah,
and he came back. He came back as all of his. He came back into the thing 3 times.
in fact, on when ICP did their first movie, they got Mick Foley to come in and play a part,
Oh, okay.
and he came in. It wasn't his. He did his 3 characters, but they changed the names so they didn't have to pay copyright.
Oh, okay.
But it was I just remember one of them. They called him Cactus Sacks.
Yeah, Cactus Jack, man. He was a old. That's the old school one. Before he became, even really famous. I mean, it was him, Abdullah the Butcher. They kind of these kind of independent, kind of guys who would travel around and have these, bloody matches. Bruiser Brody was another old school one. He got killed, and I think it was Puerto Rico. They stabbed him. Because some of these other countries, man, they take this thing like like this wrestling like really serious.
Yeah.
Japan, Mexico, the Caribbean. I mean, this is pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. If you actually watch some of the old JCW stuff, a lot of them aren't there. They've even said this, that a lot of them aren't their fights. They had lucked out one day, and I forget where it was, but the Iron Sheik has a restaurant now, and part of it is memorabilia for sale.
Oh, okay.
And they ended up buying some of his old home movies, and it was his wrestling recordings of his old wrestling matches were in there.
Oh, that's cool.
So they started putting some of those on their JCW matches.
Oh, okay.
And just doing commentary.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Iron Sheik. That's another guy that goes back to even pre-Orndorff days. He was the champion before Hogan came along. I think the first championship that Hogan won in WWE, which was WWF back then, was beating the Iron Sheik.
Yeah, they were. But yeah, they pay homage to the greats with their, and they show appreciation for what was done.
Right. Right. Because I'm sure they're, like I said, I'm sure they're old school wrestling fans like I am. Because they must be. I mean, those guys must be around my age, right? They must be. Close to 50, right?
They're getting up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're retiring.
Right.
They said earlier this year that they're only going to be doing one show a month and doing different states. So if they come to your state, you're just going to have to travel. We're not going everywhere anymore.
Right.
They got health conditions that just come with age and the lifestyle they've lived.
Exactly. All right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing lasts forever, man.
I mean, they had a good run.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's still going. They've still got planned for, I think it's 7 more albums to come out.
Oh, wow.
One more in this set, and then another set of 5. 1 or 2 in this set, I forget.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's
then
cool, man.
albums in between, so that they've probably got another 20 albums they want to release.
Damn.
They've been telling a story the whole time, and they want to get the story done.
Right.
And I know after they finished the first one, they pissed a lot of people off because with their first set of music, everyone just thought it was basic. That it was basic rap with a bunch of horror background to it.
Mhm.
They came out with their last album and let people know, hey, if you actually paid attention to the story, we're trying to get you to a god. No matter which one it is, they wanted people to be religious to end up in a good place.
Right.
And I was like, holy! I went back and re-listened. I was like, son of a bitch. They're giving out good messages to the whole shit, hiding it behind the killing and drugs and all this shit.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's one way. Let me check this chicken. See how it's doing.
Right.
It's cooking, but it's still slow.
Oh, okay.
I'll be able
So I
to throw
have a
my
question. When I'm on StreamYard this way, right? Is
Yeah.
there any way for me to see like how many people are in the chat or no?
No, not from your end that I know of.
Okay. Because like when I go to chat, like it just shows the comments, but it doesn't show how many people are in there. Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, it shows me. We only got one person.
Is that still Dr. Orndorff?
I
Or is that me?
Oh, you're watching?
No, I'm in the StreamYard, I think.
Okay, then yeah, it's not you. I have a feeling I know who it is.
Oh, okay.
She it's actually if it's who I think it is, it's a
Okay.
chick that lives up here.
Okay.
Uh, she likes to watch my shit sometimes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
We
Well,
were friends from long ago. She's heard all these stories too.
if it's her, I hope she's enjoying. Well, whoever it is, I hope
Yeah.
they're enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm always just curious on these things if people are actually listening or watching or not.
yeah, it could just be one of the trolls want me to say something stupid so they could clip it.
Well, yeah, there's always that. I don't know, man. Again, I just don't have enough time or energy to do that kind of stuff, right? Even if I got beef with somebody to try to follow them around and hope they say something. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Life's too short to worry about other people's bullshit.
Right. Right. But there's a lot of people out there doing it, man. I found that out. Thinking I'm just a non-entity, just a guy on here, and pretty soon it was like, oh, you were over at such and such room, and I got clips on what you typed in the chat. And I'm like, wow, okay. I'm that
Okay.
important. What are you gonna do with it? Who are you gonna send it to?
Yeah. No, yeah. If I'm in a chat and I see some shit that's kind of cross, I have been known. I'll screenshot shit, but I don't use it against people. It's usually just having it there for future reference.
Right, right. I've seen things that people have said, and I'll kind of tuck it away into my own memory bank, right? Like, maybe that's not the person to trust, or I heard them say this somewhere else,
I'm the type of guy that if I'm gonna accuse someone of some shit, I'm gonna have receipts behind it.
Right. That seems to be the big thing. Yeah.
And that way it's, oh, I didn't say that, dude. Here you go.
Right. Yeah. Right. I don't know. I guess I just don't get that involved most of the time, right?
Yeah.
You know. So this was interesting, and I figured it was going to get straightened out, and it has. I don't know how much you followed the whole thing with Chili and all that, but now he's out of the fight because of he couldn't pass the physical. So he was saying he was having some issues with his high blood pressure and this and that. So on the stream that he did that, I sent the message, hey man, I've had some issues with high blood pressure. I wish you the best. I'm praying for you, whatever. So he made me a moderator. And I thought that was pretty, it was pretty interesting because I really don't like that guy. And I said a lot of, negative things about him. But I think because of that, he made me a moderator.
Well, it was because you bought into it,
right? But I just wish everybody well, man. I mean, I don't know if it's true or it's not true. I mean, but if you're talking about having, he's at what, 179.
I remember hearing about the fight he was supposed to have. I forget who it was supposed to be with.
Well, he was supposed to fight a captain at the Ironton Police Department.
Oh.
And it was actually going to be sanctioned, so they had to pass these physicals. Well, I guess when Chili went to do his physical, they gave him this whole, his blood pressure was too high, and he's got a bulky knee.
Yeah, the knee thing, I could believe that blood pressure. He may have overloaded on salt.
Well, I think he's overloaded on something else, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, he may have overloaded on salt to get the high blood pressure.
Well, I don't know, man. The amount that he's up and driving and just all hyped up, I think he's, but again, if he didn't say what the bottom number was, but if your blood pressure is pushing 180, wow. I mean, you're pretty, wow. I don't know. Just not, it's not, anyway. So yeah, so he made me a moderator, and I figured it was only going to be a matter of time before one of his people was like, hey man,
Yeah, because I hear about his shit because I follow Team Skeptic.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that's where I heard about the fight, and I think it was Team Skeptic may have offered to fight him in a sanctioned fight, and he backed out.
Well, he was talking all this stuff. I mean, about I'll fight a police officer, fight a cop, whatever. And this guy Chad Gu from Ironton stepped up. He's like, "Hey, I used to fight MMA. I'll start training again. Let's do it." And they actually sold tickets, and it was supposed to be a pay-per-view and everything.
Yeah,
it was like
I've noticed that people that talk big, end up regretting it afterwards.
Right.
Because there was one flat earther that he came on a live stream and said that it came on the transit in sports issue. And he was he was against it, which I'm one that I am against men transitioning to women being able to perform in women's sports.
Okay.
Because they transitioned after they hit puberty, when they had all the muscle growth, and
sure,
it's a disadvantage to the women that have worked their life to try and get to where they're at to win. For a man to come in there and a trans woman to come in there and
I'm with you.
It's nothing against the people themselves. It's just it's an anatomy thing. It's
right.
It's the way the body works. Well, he came in there saying, "Yeah," he goes, "I'm not in the best shape, and I can whoop any woman's ass out there." A professional MMA female.
Oh, jeez.
Took him up on that offer. He actually got in the ring and tapped out like I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 10, 12 times, something like that. He tapped out. She didn't tap out once,
Right.
and it was all recorded.
Right.
And it was funny as hell because the videos I've seen of it, it has him talking shit, and
Yeah.
then they show the clip of the wrestling
Right.
with the
Right.
counter of his tap outs.
Right.
It's like, man.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is fucking crazy, man. Because this guy, I don't really know anything, about these guys, their backgrounds. I mean, I tend to believe the police captain more than I believe Chili. That he did some fighting before, but the guy's like 6'2", like 250 pounds.
Mm.
And Chili, I don't know. Let's say he's 5'8", and whatever he is. I mean, I don't know. It's just not. No, I mean, if the guy has any kind of fighting ability whatsoever, I mean, he's gonna destroy him.
Mm.
And Chili's, so I mean, I knew all along it wasn't gonna happen. I was just waiting to see what his out was gonna be.
Yeah.
And it was just funny, man. That I got moderated in there for a minute. I knew it wasn't gonna last. I knew one of his people would be like, "Hey, man, this guy just sucks shit. Guy calls you a con man, for God's sakes." That's what he is, and he's at it again with this Native American woman that's trying to, fight jurisdiction, and
Oh.
Chili's all up in arms about it, and out in Oklahoma, and it's like it's not gonna, it's not gonna work, man. And it's a good grift for you, and sure, you can make it sound like, you know, all the laws of of all these things, but when it comes to tribal law, it's a different situation and jurisdictions. You just don't know what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
what I don't
There's a
like
lot of people.
about that guy, I'm all for people, doing their thing, and if people want to fall for, whatever. But he finds people that are just in just desperate need of some kind of hope,
Mm-hmm.
and then plays this law scholar and can talk up a good game, and ends up raising money. But ultimately, what ends up happening is they're the ones that end up getting into trouble for the fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's same with this lady. She's been locked up. She got a contempt of court, and she got 7 days in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, now what are you going to do about that? No, nothing, because you can't, because you're not anybody, right?
Yeah. Just sit it out.
Right, and there's no way. His thing is, like I said, to find these people, man, that are like, oh, I'm just in a desperate situation, and here comes this smooth talking guy, and I can get you through it, and by some standards, I guess, people, good looking dude and a smooth talker, and pretty soon, who's in the jackpot though is that person that he's giving the advice to, not him.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, man. Just see him taking advantage of, people like that.
Well, see, one of the things that I'm surprised nobody's done with a lot of these people that do that kind of stuff, they're giving legal advice to people that just need help.
Right.
One of these days, one of them is going to get busted for practicing law without a license.
Well, that's it.
And that's not a cheap fine.
Right. Right. I think he just, he's just smooth enough to, to know kind of the way to approach it, to not get into that. Right. Admit that he's not a lawyer. Right. But yet, hey, but here's how you could approach it. That kind of thing. Like I said, he's preying on people, man. You look at the people just in a little bit of time that I've been following them. There's people that are just desperate, man. I mean, people that their husbands have been killed, or their kids have been killed, or in this case, this woman's trying to fight this jurisdiction, and nobody's backing her up. And here comes this guy. Oh yeah. But we could, yeah. I'm gonna quote all this case law that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
That's
I've given out legal advice to people but I always let them know, hey, look, if you decide to act on this shit, actually talk to a lawyer first.
Right. Right.
Talk to somebody who's actually, this is their fucking job
Right.
to see if it even has a leg to stand on.
Sure.
And let me know. Well,
Yep.
if it's wrong, I know not to give that advice to somebody else.
Right. Right. And just because, you know, something might work in one case, in one jurisdiction or in one state or whatever it might be, doesn't mean that it's going to work everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing, you know, and I was listening to this thing the other day because they had there was a thing where one of these auditor guys, I guess, he had opened up his account, his YouTube channel under his ex-girlfriend's like name and number or something, and when it came time for tax, he like stiffed her for the taxes on it. It was like some deal like that, and so now she's, you know, trying to rat him out. Well, I was involved in income tax for like 20 years, where I went, you know, I was licensed to go, you know, to represent people before the IRS. All I couldn't do was go to tax court. I wasn't a tax attorney, but short of that, I could represent anybody in income tax, right?
And
And I'm listening to what, yeah, I'm
it
listening,
comes down to what's on paper.
right? I'm listening to what she's saying, and it's like, okay, maybe this guy did you wrong in some ways, but what you're putting out there, and with the amount of money you're talking about, and the way that was handled by the IRS, this story, it just doesn't add up, you know. But for somebody who doesn't know, oh man, he stiffed you with 17,000 in taxes because first of all, and she did say at the end though, she did say that she got some of the money back from the IRS because,
in that
you know,
situation, my advice would have been, look, handle it with the IRS, clear your name there, and take him to criminal court for identity theft.
right, because here's the thing, and there's a such thing as innocent spousal relief is one of them. The IRS, I mean, they want their money, but ultimately they want their money from the person who owes the money.
Yeah.
Right? And so what I mean by that is, if she really had this proof that, hey, I never saw any of this money and this guy took it under, you know, under my number, the IRS would be like, oh, okay. You know, hey, you're off the hook. Here's your money back, or you know, or hey, we're not going to even go after you anymore. We're going to go after
if
this
you have
guy.
solid proof.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it works. I mean I've seen it myself where, you know, people have been separated, and where my client that comes in with this huge tax bill, and I was like, well, okay, well, where's all this money? Oh, it was my husband, my wife, my ex, my whatever. Okay, well, that's what we're going to go tell the IRS that that this is all on them.
Yeah, I made a mistake with the IRS 2 years ago. I pulled out when COVID started. My job let us pull out of our 401k
Oh, okay. Yep.
to cover for any expenses needed during COVID due to lack of hours.
Right.
So I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to take this opportunity." They said they weren't going to be penalized like that. All right, fine. I pulled it out, thinking that when they paid it to me, since they were doing it like a normal check, they pulled taxes out.
Right.
And when it came tax season,
Yeah.
I did claim it like I was supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently they didn't.
Right.
And luckily, I do my taxes through H&R Block. They said, "Well, what we could do, we can split up the claim for multiple years
Yeah.
to where it doesn't hit you so hard."
Right.
So now instead of getting 3,000 back, I only get 1,000.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it was better than owing 3,000 in 1 year.
Right, right. Yeah, because they could, since yeah, from the 401k, you take it over. Was it 5 years?
For what?
That you can claim the income that you're talking about.
Oh no, they spread it out to 3.
Oh, 3 years. Okay. Okay.
Because I didn't pull out no 100,000. I pulled out 10 grand.
Right.
So we'll just divide it up into three
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
But that helped me get me a new vehicle and shit like that. It got me in a decent place. And yeah, I got one more year to deal with it. This will be the last year I got to claim on it,
Right.
and then I'll be getting my normal shit back.
I mean, people are so, afraid of, and, that the IRS is out to get them and all these things. And, I get it, but they'll also work with you and they'll be fair with you if you are willing to communicate with them.
Yeah.
I've had so many times where people have called up and been like, oh man, they're about to foreclose on this and they're doing this and that. Like, okay, what happened to all the other correspondence? Oh, this is the first I've heard from them.
Oh,
really?
Bullshit.
Really? So
They
the
want their
first
money
time you
first
heard
before
from them, they sent you a letter saying they were taking your house.
Yeah, the first letter they get is, "Hey, you owe us this money."
Right. Prove you do, or yeah. As I said,
And-
so I'd always tell them right off the bat, look, either you're going to be honest with me, or we're, I'm just going to hang up the phone because, this is not how it works. And it's the same with this lady and the things she was saying. It's like, that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you got screwed over somehow. Things didn't go the way you wanted them to go. But from, this IRS and tax owing standpoint that you're talking about, it's just not true. Because first of all, if you owed that kind of money, that means this channel was making, $100,000.
Yeah, more than most channels do.
Yeah, and so right away we know that's not true. And second of all, if you could show that it was, income that you never got, they're not going to go after you. So, that you're just not spinning the right story, to me, But anyway,
Yeah, I've always figured when it comes down to dealing with IRS cops, it's best to just go with their shit and handle it afterwards.
right,
That's why a lot of these auditors don't make sense to me, because if you get pulled over, some of them that are just out there walking around recording, fine, but the ones that are sovereign citizens as well, that are trying to fight a speeding ticket they had, or expired tags, or no license.
right,
The street is not the place to fight that shit. You say, okay, you sign the ticket, get the ticket, and fight it in court.
right.
You just want to fight it right there on the street so you have content.
Exactly. It's all content creation.
And it's assholes like that make it harder for the rest of us when we're dealing with the cops. Because if he pulled over somebody like that before he pulled you over for speeding,
right,
ain't no way in hell you're getting let off.
That's when that's what I think about some of these cop watches, where somebody's getting pulled over and the cops are talking to him, and then here comes the cop watcher, right? And they start screaming at him, don't give them any information. Are you going to let these guys off? Give them a warning. Oh, you fucking pig, and all that. It's like, okay.
It's like, man.
If I was sitting in the car, it'd be like, hey, man, really? This is helping me? Maybe he was going to let me off. And you guys are just pissing him off, man. There's nothing, there's nothing going on here. I mean, I believe cop watching is important, but I also believe in doing it
right,
the right way.
Yeah.
stand back, observe. If you see something going on, bring attention to it. But
Yeah.
to walk up and just start screaming at the cops that, they're fucked up and don't give them any information. I've been pulled over a lot of times, man. And hey,
I
here's my
guarantee you,
license, my registration. Where are you coming from? Hey, I'm coming from here. I'm going there. I got nothing to hide, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't get all that.
If that shit ever happens to me, I'm gonna piss the cop off myself by getting out the car, and I'm yelling at the motherfucker with the camera to get the fuck away.
Right.
This is my business, not yours.
Right. Yeah, I've seen those too, man, where people are, just rousing shit up, man, with the guy.
And honestly, that may give me a better chance of being let off because the cop's not having to deal with him. It's me bitching at the motherfucker.
Right. Right.
It's my ticket. I'll handle it my way. You get the fuck down the goddamn road.
Right. Yeah. If you want to sit back, make sure they're not going to drag me out of the car and beat me, fine.
Yeah.
But
watch the or something. Yeah.
But you start yelling at everybody, and this is what you should do, and that's what they're doing. Now you're creating more problems for people. That's how I see it as well. I think it's important. I mean, even going into these places, holding the government agencies accountable and all that. That's all great. But when you're just looking to stir shit up, well, now you're doing us all a disservice. Because what's going to end up happening, I think, eventually, is they're going to start making more and more stricter rules against these things.
Oh, they are. It's already started.
Yeah.
They're I forget where it was. One state made it where you have to be within 5 feet. No, it's 8 feet away from
Arizona. Yeah, it's Arizona.
Yeah, you'd be 8 feet away from an active investigation.
Yeah, and those are stuff. They said, hey, you know what? Any DMV, post office, whatever, you can't film.
Yeah,
let's make it a law, and then what?
And I understand in places like that, in places like the post office, because you're dealing with people's personal information there.
Right.
You go into a police station, you're sitting and you're recording through that fucking window they got. They can have an open case file sitting right there that you catch in your camera that you don't realize.
Yeah.
And let shit out that the cops weren't letting out yet.
Right.
Because a lot of times they'll do that to, like in serial murder cases and stuff. They leave information out so that someone doesn't try to copycat the situation.
Right.
And get blamed on someone else.
Right. Yeah.
And if somebody comes up with those facts, it's like, hey, first off, where'd you find that out? And how did you know that shit? Because we never told nobody.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's a certain way to do it, man.
Yeah.
And the way some of these guys are doing it, it's just they're just gonna start, making more stringent, laws and rules. And
the ones you could tell that are doing it just for the views and not to actually better society is the ones that will come on whenever they've had no content for a while and I haven't released anything because the cops are being good now.
Oh, right.
Put that shit up. It may not get the views you want,
right,
but it shows that there's cops out there doing their job right.
Agreed.
Yep. You're just showing the bad side and getting everybody pissed off the fucking cops.
Right. Right.
You show the good side. Hey, look, they know what the fuck they're doing. Same with a lot with Trent and that side's dealing with people pulling the pedo card and shit like that.
Yeah.
You're not doing anybody any good by claiming someone's doing that shit online. If you got fucking proof, take it to get that fucker off the street.
Right.
Just ruining a guy's reputation online ain't protecting the fucking kids.
Right. That's true.
Now, I've told motherfuckers that I've had people come up and accuse me of that shit. Dude, if you have the proof, go to the cops.
Right.
I will gladly let them walk through my fucking house. go through my shit. There's just no reason for it.
Right.
And by claiming everybody's doing this shit, you make it easier for the fuckers that are actually doing the shit to get away with it by saying, "Oh, they're just claiming that."
Right. Amen. Yep. But on here, it's easy to throw around accusations and names and, call people this and that because, once you get that reputation or once people, don't like you and then they latch on to that, it's hard to stop it, man.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're doing a complete disservice to the real victims and the real things that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree.
I saw a YouTube channel a couple days ago. He was actually going after people that were trying to meet kids online,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and he would actually go there
yeah.
and have someone call the cops while he's fucking there to have
Right.
this fucking actually getting shit done, getting shit
Yeah.
on paper. This
Yep.
fucker's doing shit.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, fucking congrats, dude. I I subscribed to the motherfucker. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few guys like out there like that I've seen their stuff and some that I've followed. Man, there's the one guy that he'll set up a meet and they'll meet like in a like a Walmart or a mall or like a public place. And he'll be like, "Hey, you know what? I just want to have a conversation with you, man. It'll just be cool." And the person will start to walk away, and he'll just start screaming, "Hey, everybody! I want everybody's attention. This guy's here to meet whatever it might be, a 15-year-old girl or a 12-year-old boy or what." And he'll just start screaming it, man. It's fucking get it. And sometimes security will come and they'll start hemming up that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, you're causing a disturbance." No, this guy's he's here to meet and it's fucking crazy, man. Everybody, this guy's here to.
And they do it smart. They have the hard proof backed up on hand.
Yep.
Hey, here's my proof.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's some good shit right there, man.
Yeah. They're actually making some difference.
Absolutely. Or there was one where they went to this guy's. This guy was talking about meeting a couple of teenage girls, and he had like a small daughter himself, and and the police. It was like a small town, and for some reason the cops couldn't come there. Then it became this big thing because the people in the chat were like, "Well, you can't just leave because," and people were. I don't know. It just got all out of hand. Not out of hand, but just people were like, "We're going to call CPS on this guy because they had his information." Because if you're doing that and you got a small kid yourself and you're calling, it's just wrong, man. It just needs to be stopped. And no, you're right. These guys are actually out there making a difference, put themselves, on the line. But they got all the proof and they got all the, the texts and whatever, the pictures, whatever they got. Yeah.
The one I was watching, he take a step further too. After the cop, whenever, because there's some places that they'll get the information, they won't take the guy in,
Right. Right.
and because they got to build a case,
Right.
and he goes and gets the police report in those situations, and then since he has all the guy's information,
Right.
he contacts the guy's work and all this, and sends them this information.
Yeah.
So you know who you're dealing with. And fuckers are losing their jobs and like they should.
Right. Right.
Making it harder to have the funds and have the friends and family to actually get along.
Right. Right. Yeah, I've seen ones where they've actually shown up at the guy's work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or the guy who said, "Hey, let's meet me at my lunch hour or whatever." Then that's like, man, it's just yeah. Those guys, I give those guys a lot of credit, man. Even for doing it, but for then being able to keeping their composure while doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for me, you know, being a father, I mean, it would be very hard for me. I mean, if somebody showed some kind of contrition or some, you know, I mean, you can kind of tell when somebody's like, oh man, I just got caught up in the, you know, whatever, right? As opposed to somebody, some of these guys are really smug and they're just like, you know,
Yeah, thinking that, oh yeah, he ain't
yeah,
no law enforcement. He ain't caught me on shit. And,
yeah, it's like a big joke or what. I don't know, man. It would be hard for me to keep my composure in that you know in that kind of situation, and
yeah,
you know,
I'm the same way. If that's why I'd never get in that community because
right.
I'm not built to fight, and I'd have a hard time not swinging
Yeah, yeah,
with hard evidence
right,
of that kind of. I couldn't keep myself from swinging.
right. I
And
mean,
I'd
you
end
know,
up getting my ass in the hospital more times than not.
yeah. I mean, it's just you know, I know it's just you know to maybe to work in the background of it, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be one thing, but to really be on the front line and say, hey, man, you know, I mean, you know, like if I knew that there was somebody online, you know, talking to my kids, you know, and trying to set up, you know, just the whole grooming thing, you
Oh yeah,
know,
that's a gun barrel up the ass.
oh my God, you know, and I knew about it, and I told them, hey, you know what, just keep playing it along to the point that you know that they want to meet you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. There's just no telling what I would do, you know, and not that that's right. You know, I mean, I don't know,
Well,
or I don't know, but I just, you know, I wouldn't be able to, you know, to control you know, to really control myself. I'd end up getting myself in the trouble for sure.
that's the father instinct.
Yeah,
It's not right or wrong.
yeah,
That's protection. Fuck
right,
it.
yeah. I mean, my younger days. I mean, I did some, you know, some pretty lousy things for a lot, you know, a lot less reason than that. Let's say, right? I
Yeah.
mean, but here's something that I mean that I would really look at myself as being justified of, you know what, man, you don't even get a chance at the next person,
Hmm.
you know, whatever that might mean, man. You're not even going to get a chance to do it to the next person, and uh, and that's why I couldn't, you know, and even if it wasn't my kid, and I, you know, I knew this person had these, you know, these intentions, man, it just too much for me. I give these guys a lot of credit, man, for being able to do that. You know, it takes you know, and I think sometimes they struggle with it, and they you know the ones I've seen, they'll tell us, man, it's like that was a hard one to you know
Hmm.
walk away from.
Yeah.
But again, they know that if they do something, like we're talking about with the auditors, right? If they do something, it kind of blows the whole thing.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of all it's you know it's all gone. But so what's worth it more? You maybe you can get 100 off the street, or you know you can do some serious damage to a couple, right? And I
Yeah.
think they got the they got the right idea. It's just a matter of being able to do it.
Yeah. I yeah. But like you, I my ass would be choosing getting a couple off the street, but like I'm not built to do that.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, I just you know I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I mean, I can't imagine. You know, I hear about you know people, you know, their kids or family or whatever being abused by somebody. I don't know how they deal with that, man, and how they, you know it doesn't come to something.
All right. Well, the chicken's almost done, so it's not gonna. It took too long to get that done. I ain't gonna get the other stuff on. I'm gonna go ahead and end this.
Yeah, man, it was good talking with you, bro.
Good talking to you too, man.
I'm sorry I kept you on here for almost 2
I know.
hours more than you wanted to stay.
Hey, it's all good. The only reason I was going to leave is because no one was up.
All right, man. I'll catch you somewhere, huh?
All right, man. Catch you later.
Yeah, be cool as always.
Yeah, all right, you too.